everyone. So in this video, we can see that we finished our task checklist for Google Slides, and we are now moving on to our task checklist for Google Docs. In this video, we are going to learn how to open a new Google Doc with a shortcut. We will learn how to insert text, images, and tables in a document, and then finally, we'll learn how to format some of that text using our options that we have. So let's go on back to our Google Classroom. To get access to Google Docs, we can use the waffle icon, and that will bring up our menu of workspace apps. So let's go ahead and select Docs. And this will bring us to our dashboard or main page for Docs. So you can start with a blank document, or you can select a template from our template gallery. And if you're looking for a particular Google document and you don't want to have to look for it in your Google Drive, you can always go to Docs and then look for those recent documents. A quick tip here is that you can use the filter and look for any document that's owned just by you. You can make it into a list like this. You can sort it by when you last opened the document. You can sort it by title, so it goes in alphabetical order. And then you can even just click on the folder, and then it brings you to a shortcut to your Google Drive. In this case, we'll just create a blank document. Now, Google Document is Google's version of Microsoft Word. And I have to say, if you understood and know how to use Google Slides, many of what we're going to talk about in this video about Google Docs is the same things that I've mentioned in the Google Slides video. Because many of those actions are the same with some exceptions. So let's talk about how we can access Google Docs through a shortcut. If you were paying attention in the last video, you know that we could access slides by just typing in slides.new in our Omnibox. Well, we could do the same thing with Docs just by replacing slides with Docs. So in our Omnibox, let's type in docs.new, and it will bring up a brand new document for you. All right. So let's talk about how we can insert text and then format that text. So I like to use the styles, especially when you're working with students, because the styles are there to help make things easier and actually, to kind of make it a little bit more formatted. So let's say we have our students writing a report or an essay. So have them go to normal text and then click title. And then now that title or that text is formatted to look like a title for the report card, or the report, not report card. So I would say something like a day in the life of George Washington. I don't know. So let's say we are in history class and we have them, do a nice narrative in the point of a historical character. So now we just have the title formatting. And then if I click enter on my keyboard, you notice that my text goes back to normal. I can continue using styles. So maybe after my title, I could use heading, second heading, and then so on and so forth. All right. So I wouldn't recommend saving default. Just stick with the normal styles as on Google Doc. So maybe I could do a subtitle. Was he the one that chopped down the cherry tree because he cannot tell why? So maybe a subtitle would be like, the day I chopped down the cherry tree. And I hope you know that I'm completely making this up, right? Okay. So here's the subtitle format. I'm just changing it to make it look more like a format there. And again, once I press enter, my text goes back to normal font size and color. So that's how we can easily add in text, especially when we're working with students and we're writing out some type of essay or report. Okay, so now let's talk about other formatting options here. It's the same thing as we saw in slides, right? So if we click up here to the font, we can change the fonts. Uh, See if it's a report or an essay. I just want to stick with something that's easy on the eye, so Arial or Verdana. Something that's not too fancy, just keep it nice and clean. We can change the font size. We can decrease or increase it. We can make it bold. We can italicize it. We can underline it. We can change the text color. Um, let's do purple. We can change. We can highlight. So if you're doing vocabulary, we can add a highlighter color, and then maybe I'll just add a nice orange in the back. And there we go. So there's our text. I can even go as far as centering it, double spacing my text. So maybe you want to print it out and have them go back and edit it. I can add a checklist. I can add a bullet point list. I can add a numbered list. And again, if I don't like any of the things I've done, I can just simply go back and clear my formatting. The only thing you won't do is take out that numbered list if you already have that. Okay? So that's how we insert text using the styles and also your menu ribbon. Now let's talk about how to add or insert an image. Remember the keyword here is insert or insert content. So we go to our menu bar and click on insert, select image, and I don't have a picture of George Washington on my laptop, so I'm just going to use the web. And let's type in George Washington. Alright, so you can select one, let's do a headshot and then like a full body one. So this is great, this is great. I got two selected and I'll insert it. Okay. And so you notice that it inserted as full size. So what we can do is we can play around with that too. We can click on the image, click on the corner, the boxes on the corners here and make them smaller to fit our report. Okay. So let's just say I'm just gonna copy and paste this really nice and quick so that we have some text at least, right? So what if I uh, have this picture up here? Okay, so when you click this picture, you can actually format it certain ways. So right now, I can have it inline in front of some text. I can wrap text around it, so my paragraph will continue being um, read through on the right. I can break the text so that there's no text above or below it. It just does a nice thing there. So maybe I can center this, right? So let's center that. Well, let's finish my text up here. I can do it behind my text. I can have it in front of my text. Normally these two I don't use. I usually use wrap text or inline. So it looks like wrap text looks better, right? You could change the margin. So that's 1/8 right now. Let's look at 1 inch. So the text will be 1 inch away. We'll bring it back to 1/8. You could have the picture move with the text or fix it on the page. I'm going to fix it so it doesn't move as I continue to type out my report. And then here's our vertical ellipses. We have some more picture options. We could rotate it. We could add some adjustments. Honestly, I don't really see anything else I'd like to change. Everything looks fine. I can just go back and add my alt text. Portrait of George Washington. And that's it. Let's go ahead and add that. So that is how we can add an image. And don't forget, you still have your other one here. Maybe that could be a full-size picture as part of my report. All right, so finally, the last thing is maybe we want to add a table. So remember, add, insert. We'll go back to insert under our menu, bar here, and then select table. You could do a template, or you could just create a table on your own. So maybe I want to make a table of the major life events of George Washington. Right? So maybe I'll make it 3 columns, and I don't know, I'll just make it 3 by 4 for now. So we could do like just another way. We could do timeline, and so here could be the date. This could be that event, and then some notes that your student might have to add about it. Again, you could format your text. You can bold it. You could center it in your column. All right. And if you want to get a little fancy, you can even add some color to your table headings here. So I highlighted the part of the table that I want to change. I'm right clicking, and then I am going to table properties in my options. And table properties, I go to color, and just to jazz it out, maybe his favorite color is light blue. Oh, no, that's a table border. Oops. I'm gonna keep that. Oh, let's make it dark blue. And then let's go to cell background color and make that a nice light blue. So that's some of the ways that we can add a table and then just change its formatting so so that you and your students have ownership of the work. Okay. Right, so that's it. You've now learned the basic training test for Google Docs. We've learned how to open a new Google Doc, how to insert text and use the styles, how to insert images and format it to go with your report, and then also how to insert a table and personalize or customize how the table looks.